actor Stephen Amell from the TV show Arrow is not a fan of the current actors' strike. He gave his opinion while attending a Q&A with fans at GalaxyCon in North Carolina. Watch.
I support my union. I do, and I stand with them. I do not support striking. I don't. I think that it is a reductive negotiating tactic. And I find the entire thing incredibly frustrating.
Some of his Arrow co-stars are taking aim at his comments. One simply said, quote, "This bleeping guy." It's been over 2 weeks since the actors went on strike, and the writers have been striking since May. Some experts say for a strike to be effective, it depends on how much it affects business, how replaceable the workers are, and how much the public is on their side. You're already shaking your head, Tori. What's up?
You know what I find? Sorry, that sigh was so annoying. What I find incredibly frustrating, he's allowed to have his opinion, but don't say you support the actors, but you don't support striking. You cannot have it both ways. And if you don't support striking because you find it a reductive tactic, then you don't agree with the civil rights movement and how it happened, or the labor movement, or the female women's liberal movement. All of those things happen because people went on strike, and I don't understand how that is something you find reductive when it has made ample change to the benefit of an enormous amount of this population. I find that comment reductive.
Not to get off on too much of a tangent, but I think it's so interesting that we're talking about the actors and writers strike now, but the strikes that you mentioned were 30, 40, 50 years ago. I don't know if that tactic is going to work, unfortunately, anymore, because I think the balance in terms of finances is so out of whack now that if you had a bus strike and people, you know, let's say you had a trucking company, if your driver stopped driving, you would feel that impact immediately. If you're sitting on $270 million, I can wait you out. Who's going to win that? I mean, it's because there used to be not that huge of a difference between the CEO of that trucking company and their driving. You know, but now the 1% is so much of a 1%. His commentary was wrong and ignorant. It didn't seem like he's done a lot of research. But sadly, I don't think it's the best tactic in this situation. I don't know another one, but this is the problem. They're greedy. Their greed has led to exorbitant wealth, and that exorbitant wealth allows them to withstand a strike that could go on for 5 years.
Well,
they could be on a yacht.
But a lot of different industries are striking or about to strike, including Bethany Frankel just partnered with Mark Garagos, the attorney, in order to have reality stars strike. Because think about all the episodes you and Jordan did for Big Brother that are continuing to air all around the world, and you guys don't see any residuals from that. Do you think it's time for every industry, including reality TV, to get your piece of the pie? Or is that too much, in your opinion?
I don't know. I would like that because then that means I make money. And when it comes down to money, that's what it's all about, right? If this guy had said, hey, listen, I got a family, and this is my only source of income right now, and I need to feed my kids. In doing so, I'm going to cross the picket line because I got to maintain my bills. And unless some actor who's making a lot of money wants to step up and help me with my bills, I'll be in solidarity with you. But in the meantime, it's not about whose side I'm on and what my job is or what status I am in the world. It's about taking care of my kids, and that's what I need to do.
But he didn't say that.
If you say that,
yes,
it's a different ball game, right? It's a different ball game. By saying you don't support the very people who are your teammates, in essence.
Yes.
That's not a great team player.
Right.
And what casting director is now going to hire him after that?
Yikes. All right. Well, we got to talk about Suzanne Somers, a friend of the show. She recently gave a health update to her fans. Suzanne posted this sweet pic with her husband, Alan, and said the breast cancer she was diagnosed with 20 years ago popped up again, but she's now cancer-free. Thank goodness. Yesterday, we told you actor Paul Reubens, best known for playing Pee Wee Herman, passed away from cancer. His Facebook page posted a statement from Paul, who apologized to his fans for keeping his diagnosis private for the past 6 years. Jamie Foxx also posted a video to his fans, but never revealed why he ended up in the ICU in April. And the world was shocked when Chadwick Boseman passed away from colon cancer back in 2020. He had also kept his health battle private. Why do you think, Al, that these celebrities wanted to keep their health battles private?
Well, there's a couple reasons. One, if it's a terminal situation, because I think we have to look at the two different categories here. If you have a terminal diagnosis, if people know about it, every time you see somebody, they're going to have a long face, as they should, because they're genuinely sad they're going to lose a friend. But selfishly, if I have a terminal diagnosis, I want my last couple of months to be how I remembered my friends. I don't want the last couple of months to be Tori crying and Jeff bursts into tears every time he sees me.
Yeah.
You know, I think people want to be remembered in the light that and in the life that they remember. So I think it's a personal decision to say I want to go out the way I've always lived, not in a weird kind of early morning stage that people would be in.
It's a brilliant point, because then there's that pity that you don't want. You want to go out dignified, you know, as you were before. For when I reached out for help to the DBL Nation and to anyone to pray for my mom, it was the only thing I could do. It was the last resort. And a lot, like thousands of you wrote me, and that's a lot for me. And for me to feel that way, I was like, maybe it can change something, like a miracle. Like that was what I needed at the point. And then she started to get better. So I reached out because I thought it was my last resort. You kind of helped me with that with Eric.
I believe in the power of prayer.
Yeah.
I believe whatever you want to call it, whether it's like collective thinking, positive affirmations, or prayer because you're a person of faith. I believe in it. I saw the miracles of prayer, collective thinking, whatever you want to call it, with Eric.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I would do, because I would want everybody to be praying for me or my family member. But I also don't want those naysayers. What would you do?
Yeah, I'd like to keep things tight. You know what I mean? If something got out, that's different. But I like to keep things tight because that's who matters. My family matters. My great friends matter. You know, everything else doesn't matter. Are you trying to be sympathetic because you want to? I have this weird thing with like gratification, imposter syndrome. I don't like selling my birthday. I don't need to put something out there so people are like, oh man, I love you. And it's the same. I don't like bad comments either. You know what I mean? I just like, what matters to me is what my family thinks about me. And if it was something so personal as a diagnosis, whether it's life or death, I think I'm going to keep that in-house. You know what I mean? And just deal with that with the people who love me.
That's interesting. Two different takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a decision.